Hi everyone, welcome back to the MNS Cards YouTube channel. My name is Michael. I am a full-time Pokemon seller, and today I'm just going to show you a few things that I'm doing in my business. I'm going to be sending off some cards for grading and consignment, a few that are already graded that are going to be going to consignment, and then just a few cards that I'm going to be listing, and I'll kind of talk through my thought process, and hey, it may be something that's helpful for you. So let me get you switched around to the other camera. All right, so we got 3 stacks of cards here. The first one, these are ones that I'm going to be grading with CGC Fanatics. And I'm actually sending these through Dan Ketchmall Collectibles, and he has an agreement with Fanatics where he will grade the cards for $8.50 per card, and then they automatically get auctioned on Fanatics. It's a really good deal. I do have to send a minimum of 50 cards, and this won't be 50 cards. I'm making a play with some other ones that if I show them off and someone else copies me, it'll really crash the market, and I'm not trying to get myself hurt by showing these off, but just trying to provide some insight onto some of the things that I do. But it's really nice because you just message Dan and give him the number of cards and the tracking number, and then you package them up and send them, and you don't even have to send them in top loaders. I send them in penny sleeves, and they just go off, and it takes about a month to get them graded and then listed, and then they run for about 10 days on auction. So it's about a 6-week process, but it's really hands off where I've already got my order number. After this, I'm going to package them up, put the order number in the box, send it off, and then I don't have to think about it. And in about 6 weeks, I will just get the money for the sale of the cards. And these are cards that I don't think would get a PSA 10, but I think they have a shot at a CGC 10. And even if they get a CGC 9 at $8.50 per card, like, it's nice that I can just get them auctioned and get them gone. I'm getting backlogged on raw cards. They're not really selling through as quickly as I want to on my eBay. So this gives me an option where I just send them off, and I'm going to get somethings for these cards. They're grading misses, but if I can get some value out of them without having to do much work, then I'm really happy about that. It's also nice because Dan will actually pay the upfront grading fees of $8.50 per card, so that's less money that I'm having to shell out up front, and then once they sell, like, that's just deducted from my payout. So overall, really good service, really happy with it. But I will just kind of show you the cards that I'm sending off now. Again, these are all grading misses that I don't think would get a PSA 10. If I sent them all to PSA, there's a chance some of them would get a PSA 10 just because of PSA's inconsistency, but I don't feel confident enough to send them to PSA, and with their $25 grading, like, some of that risk just isn't really worth it right now. So we can go through them real quick. We've got Pikachu V, another Pikachu V, another Pikachu V, another Pikachu V, Giratina V Star, Lugia V, Gengar V Max, another Gengar V Max, Glaceon V Star, Palkia V Star, Arceus V Star, Flying Pikachu V Max, Espeon V, Pikachu V Max, Mewtwo V Star, Tyranitar V, Glaceon V Star, Mew V, Mewtwo V, Pikachu V Max, Giratina V Star, and a Birthday Pikachu. And another thing that's nice about the service is there's never any upcharges. So it's $8.50 per card. It doesn't matter how much the card is worth. Like, that is the grading fee that I'm going to have to pay in the end. So it's a really consistent service. I think the CGC graders are pretty fair on the orders that I've sent them in the past. So yeah, I'm going to get these sent out to Dan. And then on the next stack, these are 2 cards. These are going out to Z&G Emporium. We have a PSA 10 Lugia V and a PSA 10 Umbreon V. So these are 2 cards. I'm sending them to Z&G because they're over $1,000, and he does 93% payouts over $1,000, and he does buy it now consignments where I'm going to tell him I want these both listed for $1,000, and I think they'll sell relatively quickly. That's about market, and he gets a lot of eyes on his eBay. So I'm going to end up netting $930 with the 93% payout. And if I were to sell them on my own eBay, I would probably net closer to about $860. So it's a really great way to sell higher end cards, the over $1,000, where I'm going to be netting more money, and a lot of the risk goes on to him. I just have to get the cards to his door, and then after that he handles all the selling, the shipping to they'll go through the eBay authenticity, but once they land at his door, he has full responsibility, and they're out of my hands. So that's just less risk that I have. So really great service that he offers. So I'm going to get these sent out to him today. And then next up, just two cards that I've been had laying around. They're Japanese. It's the Umbreon V and Charizard V. I got these cards when they were really cheap, and they've started to go up in value. I'm just not that confident in Japanese single graded cards over the long run. Like, they're very easy to grade. I have a couple. Well, I have an Umbreon V at grading right now that I'm pretty sure will get a 10 and can replace this one if I choose to keep it. Charizard V, for whatever reason, this card, it just has not had the popularity that I think it should, and I'm kind of tired of waiting on it to go up in value. So I think right now it's pretty fair value. Well, honestly, I think the entire market's pretty hot right now. So I would rather get these sold and get the money than try to hold on and wait for them to go up anymore. Umbreon V has kind of had a run recently. I think that the English card has gone up to about 1,000, like I said earlier. This one I think is probably between 450 and 500, and that seems like a lot for this card that's relatively easy to grade. I'm not quite sure what the Charizard is at, but I'll just sell it for whatever market is. So yeah, I'm going to get these listed and get them sold, and I think that I can do better things with the money right now. I'm kind of leaning towards more early Scarlet and Violet sealed products. Those are things that they're going to be going out of rotation in the next couple months, the SV1 through I think SV5. So I think that now is going to be the time to start picking those up. They've already had a pretty decent run, but any sealed product as it goes out of rotation generally has a pretty big price increase. Is that priced in already? Is everything overvalued? Potentially, but I just think that in the long run, early Scarlet and Violet sealed product is going to do better than these two cards. So I'm going to get them listed and get them sold. All right, and the last thing I'm going to show you is I'm going to be pulling some cards out of my Fanatics vault to sell. Now, I've never pulled anything out of my Fanatics vault. Everything I've ever bought on Fanatics, I've just stored there and not worried about it. But these have hit a price point where I think that they really need to be sold. And they're low pop cards and they're vintage, and that's kind of having a moment right now. So if they come down in price, I don't know if they'll ever achieve the price that they're at right now again. And it's one of those things that they're not the most popular Pokemon. So I think that right now, when we have this boom in this moment, this is the time where I need to be offloading these cards. I think there's a very good chance that if I want to buy them again in the future, I will have an opportunity to do it at a lower price. And it does show my price that I paid for them years ago, so that's kind of interesting to see where they've come. So yeah, we can get into it, and I will show you. These are from 2004, which is the EX series, which is just notoriously hard to grade. They're low pop, but again, not very popular species, so I don't have a whole lot of confidence in them moving into the future, so let's just jump into it. But right here, we have a Magnemite Team Rocket Returns PSA 10, and I believe I paid $88 for it when I originally got it. I don't think that includes buyer's premium, so add 20% to that, but it's saying right now the market value is $313. And looking at some other reverse holos from this era that have sold, I actually think I'm going to get more than that. But yeah, I mean, it's a Magnemite card, not crazy popular, so I think that if I can get $313 for this card, I think that's more than fair. Next one is Grimer, PSA 10 reverse holo, and again, I paid $145 for this plus buyer's premium, and it's valuing at $948. That's crazy to me. $1,000 for this card, like it just feels like too much right now. So I'd rather sell it and get into something that I feel more comfortable with. Next one, Furret. Again, low population 1 of 9. I originally paid $330 or $300 for it, and with 20% buyer's premium, I think I ended up paying $360. But again, market value $850. It's a Furret. I would rather have $850 than to put it into something that I believe in. And last one, I actually really like this card. It's a Heracross reverse holo. I paid $300 for it originally, plus 20% to get $360 for their buyer's premium. It's valuing at $836. I think it's probably going to go for closer to $1,500, honestly. Like, it's population 1 of 12. Heracross is more popular than Furret. It's a good-looking card, so yeah, again, these are at prices where I think it's time to sell. I think that if I want to own a PSA 10 Heracross in the future, I may have to wait a little bit, seeing as how it's only 1 of 12. But right now, people are paying up for low pop vintage cards, and it's just, I'm not a reverse holo collector. I've never really been that for especially these EX era. Like, they're cool reverse holos. We'll pull up the image real quick, and when you zoom in on this, like, it's all the symbols from the energy card. So like it's a good looking reverse holo pattern, but again, it's a reverse holo. There's one in every pack, but there's a lot of cards in the set. So I mean, and they're hard to grade. I have a hard time saying what this should be valued at, but I really think it's going to be over $1,000, and to me, it's just not worth $1,000. So I'm valuing it less than what the market is saying right now. So I need to get it sold. So those are just a couple of things that I'm doing. If you found this helpful, let me know in the comments. If there's other things that you'd like for me to show off that I'm doing, I'm happy to do that. Just let me know. But I appreciate you hanging out. And with that, I've got things to do. I'm sure you do too. So get after it and have a good one.